Hello year 8 and welcome to a video on multiplying and dividing fractions, section 603. So let's deal with a few examples here, but firstly it gives us some idea of what to do in the summary box, but also you've done this before last year. So firstly, to multiply fractions, multiply the numerators and the denominators separately. So dealing with example part A, 3/5 times 2/7. You multiply the numerators first. 3 times 2 is 6. And denominators separately. 5 times 7 is 35. Don't think we can simplify that one. Part B, 2/3 times 3/8. There is a way to do this quickly, but I'll do the long way just to show you. 2 times 3 is 6. Denominators, 3 times 8 is 24. 6 is a factor of 24, so we can simplify that. Divide by 6, you get 1. Divide by 6, you get 4. Okay. Then part D, where we've got mixed numerals. Multiply, divide mixed numerals, convert them to improper fractions first. So 1.5 times 2 and 2/3 equals improper fraction. 1 times 2 is 2, 1 is 3. 3/2. And 2 and 2/3 becomes 8/3. So improper fractions, and then do the multiplying. 3 times 8 is 24. 2 times 3 is 6. Again, 26 is a factor of 24, so we can simplify. 6 into 24 goes 4. 6 into 6 goes once, and that equals 4. Okay. Next one. A word about reciprocals, because I need to understand that before we do the dividing. Because to divide by a fraction means multiplying by its reciprocal. So let's have a look. Reciprocal of proper fractions. Let's go 3/4. Reciprocal is another way of saying inverse. So denominator becomes numerator, numerator becomes denominator. So 3/4, the reciprocal of 3/4 is 4/3. You do the same with improper fractions. Denominator becomes numerator, numerator becomes denominator. Whole numbers. Well, let's go with 4. 4 can be written as a fraction. So whole numbers can be written as fractions with 1 in the denominator. So the reciprocal of a whole number, denominator becomes numerator, numerator becomes denominator. So whole numbers reciprocal does exist. It's usually 1 over that whole number. Okay, now the concept of dividing. Let's have a look at that. What I've got here is an example of, in picture form, of 3 divided by 1/3. We've got, basically that means that how many times does 1/3 go into 3? And you can see pretty clearly there are 9 of them. 9 of 1/3 equals 3. 3 divided by 1/3 equals 9. That's what dividing means. How many of this one goes into that one? And then 9/3 into 3. So what does that mean mathematically? 3 will do as a fraction. So that's divided by 1/3 is how to be written. So when you divide by a fraction, you multiply by its reciprocal. Multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, equals 9. Same answer. So that's why when you divide by a fraction, you multiply by its reciprocal. So here, part C, the question will be written like this. That means then the first fraction stays the same. Then you write the multiply sign. Second fraction reciprocal. Denominator becomes numerator. Numerator becomes denominator. Multiply. 4 times 3 is 12. Denominators, 5 times 2 is 10. 12 over 10, simplify to 6 over 5. And there's our answer. So for each one of these questions, you write the question, equals, and the answer. And when you do dividing, when you multiplying by mixed numerals, show that you've convert them to improper fractions first, then do the working. And with division, write the first fraction as is, change the sign to multiplying, and invert the second fraction. That's how to show you working. Thanks everyone.